Hey, good evening, everyone. My name is David. I'm going to be leading a meditation on loving kindness tonight. And welcome to anyone joining us online. I was told that we had 1 million YouTube followers, so welcome to all 1 million of you. I wanted to start out by reading just a little bit from How to Love by Thich Nhat Hanh. Just a very, very short passage here. I was checking the lighting, and hopefully my eyes can read in this lighting here. Heart like a river. If you pour a handful of salt into a cup of water, the water becomes undrinkable. But if you pour the salt into a river, people can continue to draw the water to cook, wash, and drink. The river is immense, and it has the capacity to receive, embrace, and transform. When our hearts are small, our understanding and compassion are limited, and we suffer. We can't accept or tolerate others and their shortcomings, and we demand that they change. But when our hearts expand, these same things don't make us suffer anymore. We have a lot of understanding and compassion and can embrace others. We accept others as they are, and then we have a chance to transform. So how do we make our hearts grow bigger? I think there's a couple parables about that, whether it be for compassion or whether it be for love, that you have to have a big heart to let love and kindness in. To let love and kindness in. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the 4 immeasurable minds. Some people call them the 4 types of love in Buddhism. The first one is loving kindness. And loving kindness, how I see it, is simply having goodwill, affection, warm thoughts towards others. The second one is compassion. And I like to think of compassion as understanding, right? If you understand where someone's coming from, if you put yourself in their shoes, to me, that's compassion. You can kind of see yourself there. And there's a couple kinds of compassion. There's compassion, it's just listening to someone. And then there's thoughts of compassion, and there's also acts of compassion, right? And we probably did something today in our own lives that were a compassionate act. Maybe you opened the door for someone. Maybe someone's going through a hard time and you listened to them. So we probably did some kind of compassionate act today in our own interactions and what we do. The next one is sympathetic joy. And this is one of my favorite ones. I got to attend my father's wedding a few months ago, and I was just so happy for him. I didn't want anything out of it. I was so happy for the experience. It was truly just happiness for someone else. I think in today's world, a lot of people, you want to be happy, or someone wants to be happy for someone at work. Like if someone else got a promotion, a lot of people, and myself in the past included, have been like, why isn't it me? How come I didn't get that? What did I do wrong? And we're focusing on ourselves and not on that other person, right? And just being purely happy for someone else. So once you find that, though, it just be able to find joy in someone else's happiness makes me happy. I can say that. And the final one is equanimity. And equanimity sounds easy, but it's a balance. It's not being pulled into one extreme or the other. It is, just that balance. I think of it as a balance of emotions, and having that steadiness. Doesn't mean we don't experience joy or sorrow or sadness. I used to think of my life as a roller coaster, because it pretty much was, peaks and valleys. And now I think of it as a merry-go-round. I'm still on the ride, things happen, but I'm not at each one of these extremes. One good example for me of all four of these is I think about a puppy. So, and I saw someone smile when I said puppy, right? So you can't help but look at a puppy and just feel loving kindness towards the puppy, right? I mean, there's an innocence there. Then I also think about, like, if a puppy got hurt, which they do, they run into things, and there's a compassion for that puppy that you want to make sure that that puppy's okay. And then with sympathetic joy, just watching a puppy frolic, you feel happy. You feel happy that that puppy's happy. I mean, you're happy for a puppy. There's just, I cannot be happy when I'm around a puppy. And then there's equanimity. So I have a dog, and when that dog was a puppy, the dog would race after a squirrel and go up a tree and just one extreme, or if the puppy didn't get what it wanted and it was all whining, or then it was super happy when it did, and it's a roller coaster ride with a puppy. It's like a baby, right? So I experienced a little bit of that when I had my puppy, and I think a puppy just kind of encapsulates everything around love and kindness. So I think I'd like to start with the meditation, the loving kindness meditation. Has anyone here not done a loving kindness meditation before? Are we familiar with the? Okay, cool. So, one second. What I like to focus on is, or I think about it is, we're not focusing on our breath. So a lot of meditation just focus on your breath, breathing in, breathing out. And here we're focusing on the words. And when our mind starts to wander, in other meditations, I go back to the breath, and here it's just going back to the words. And when you're wishing loving kindness towards another person, at first I was like, well, who's granting that wish? Who's doing that? And no one is. I think of it more as like a greeting card, right? When you say, hey, I wish you a happy birthday. I wish you this. I wish you that. So I think about it that way. And we'll do the standard of first sending loving kindness to ourselves. And for a lot of people, that's the person they really need to start with. That's why the meditation starts that way, because with yourself, it's a lot of people have trouble loving themselves. I personally have trouble sometimes loving other people, and I'm okay with myself, but we'll start with ourselves, and then we'll move on to sending loving kindness to a loved one or a friend, a close friend there. And then we'll pick a neutral person, and we'll talk about this before we do each one. And then we'll do someone that has more of a either a resentment or we have an aversion to. And then we'll go on to all sentient beings. So I wanted to pause there and see if there's any questions or comments. All right. So we'll start, I'll ring the bell, and we'll start with ourselves, and we'll start with the words, may I be happy, may I be safe, may I be healthy, and may I live with ease. And when we say, may I live with ease, what we're doing there is hoping or wishing for ease in our day-to-day lives. So whether that be work, whether that be home, whether that be family life, whatever that may be, to me, that's what may I live with ease means. So we'll start. I like to stretch a little, move around. Your eyes can be open, slightly open. They can be closed. I always find sitting up straight allows me to breathe better, and I'll guide you in the beginning here. Taking a deep breath. And slowly saying to yourself, may I be happy, may I be safe, may I be healthy, and may I live with ease. And repeating that, and when you're thinking about the words and thinking them and saying them to yourself with meaning. May I be happy, may I be safe, may I be healthy, and may I live with ease. If your mind begins to wander, may I be happy, may I be safe, may I be healthy, may I live with ease. May I be happy, may I be safe, may I be healthy, and may I live with ease. So, any thoughts, any reactions? Next, we're gonna move on to someone, a loved one, a friend, someone who you can visualize in your mind, that makes you smile, that you have an affection for. It could be someone that you see all the time, or maybe it's someone that you rarely see. It could be an animal, pet. It could be a person. And we're going to be sending some loving kindness to that person. So using the same words that we used before, may you be happy, may you be safe, may you be healthy, may you live with ease. And sending love and kindness to that person. So visualizing them in your mind, repeating the phrase in your mind, and using that phrase as the meditation and the point that you're concentrating on. You're concentrating on that person, you're concentrating on those words. So we'll go ahead and begin. And again, bringing that person that you have some affection, someone you care about, and repeating, may you be happy, may you be safe, may you be healthy, and may you live with ease. May you be happy, may you be safe, may you be healthy, may you live with ease. And just silently repeating that self, sending that person love and kindness, goodwill. Happy, may you be safe, may you be healthy, and may you live with ease. As the mind wanders, coming back to, may you be happy, may you be safe, may you be healthy, and may you live with ease. May you be happy. May you be safe. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. Did anyone pick a pet or an animal? Yeah. They're usually easy ones to pick for me. Anyone want to share who they picked? No pressure.
I was going from my mom to my dad to my dog.
Your mom to your dad to your dog. A little trifecta going on there. Awesome.
I picked my daughter, and I thought I had my phone on Do Not Disturb, but I guess I didn't, and she called me right as I was doing.
Wow.
Kind of funny.
You'll have to call her back.
Yes.
So I think it's easy for us to find someone that we care about in our lives and send love and kindness to them. So the next person that we'll send love and kindness to is going to be kind of a neutral person. So someone that maybe you see on a daily or weekly basis, but you don't really know. So someone, maybe it's the checkout person at a grocery store. Maybe it's the person that makes your coffee in the morning, if you go out for coffee in the morning. Maybe it's someone at work that's more of an acquaintance. And the whole purpose is to expand and send that loving kindness to people that we don't typically think about, and realizing that everyone out there that we interact with, whether it be the person on the freeway that we're cutting off or is cutting off us, or whether it be the person at the bank, or whether it be the person sleeping on the street, they're all people, right? We're all people, we all have feelings, and we all need loving kindness. So, and before we do it, I just want to tell a story that I had heard, and it was a man who lived on a busy road. And every morning he would go out, and as the cars were passing by to go into town, he would wave hello to them. Say, hello, hi, 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 hi. And every night when the cars were coming back, he would wave hello to all the cars. And he was kind of he was known to do this, right? A little quirkiness. And the local TV station came out to interview him. And because he would do this and people would notice. And they said, well, why do you do it? And he said, well, I'm just hoping, wishing for them to have a good day and a good night. And he said, well, they can't hear you. The windows are up. They have no idea what you're saying. He's like, that's not the point. The point is not for them to hear. It's for me to send those good wishes to them. So when you're sending good wishes to loving kindness to people that are not in this room, it's not about having them necessarily hear it right now. It's sending those good vibes. And if the whole world just had that, mentality, those vibes of loving kindness when we interacted with each other, it would be completely different, right? So that neutral person doesn't know that you're doing this. And again, it could be anyone in your day that you interact with, or your week that you interact with, that you may or may not know their name, you may or may not know anything about them, but they have all the same emotions and struggles and things and suffering that you go through as well. Maybe different, it may be different kind of dukkha or suffering, but we all have that to some degree. So again, a neutral person, could be a delivery person, could be someone that you just see in your daily life. And we'll go through again, visualizing them in your mind, wishing them loving kindness. May you be happy, may you be safe, may you be healthy, and may you live with ease. So. Again, visualizing that person and repeating in your mind as your concentration. May you be happy, may you be safe, may you be healthy, and may you live with ease. May you be happy, may you be safe, may you be healthy, and may you live with ease. And repeating that. Happy, safe, healthy, and live with ease. May you be happy, may you be safe, may you be healthy, and may you live with ease. And as your mind wanders, come back to that person. May you be happy. May you be safe. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. All right. Anyone want to share who their neutral person was? I always find these interesting.
Mine was a neighbor who was moving out of our condo building because I found out he feels like he's alone, so he's moving into a retirement community, which is kind of sad. So I'm just wishing him well.
Wow, that's nice. That's nice and thoughtful. In the back.
Yeah, one of my managers that, to put it nicely, we had a neutral experience together. But that's how I have to lead my life with, loving kindness and wishing that person well, not harboring anything. Because it's like, who's that doing harm to?
Mm-hmm.
Not him, me. And just not putting out that energy. So I was doing it with a few coworkers too that I'm switching jobs, so I'll miss them. Try to stay in touch, but I was just wishing them all well. And I thought of him, and I didn't want to do it, but I was like, no, it's it's like that's part of it though. There's still that part of me that's like, you don't deserve it. It's like, what are you talking about, man? Like, he's not that bad of a person. It's just you guys have different experiences, and that's the way it's going to be, But like, you can still wish this person to have a good life.
Yeah.
So that's what I got out of it.
Yeah. You sure this was a neutral person that?
It was because we've had good times together, but we've also had some pretty frustrating times together too.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where I struggled. Is I was like, the times I can think we've had good times, we've had some good laughs, But then the times that were very frustrating were very frustrating. So that's where that neutrality kind of lies. It wasn't all, bad. It wasn't all good. It was kind of like, oh man. But I wanted it to be more bad than good.
Yeah.
So I had to be like, all right, this is a neutrality that I'm trying to I need to sway it in the favor of good energy.
Kind of finding that equanimity, if you will.
Right,
There you go.
precisely.
Wow. Anyone else? All right. Well, this is the one that I have the most either trouble with or the most benefit by doing, and that is thinking about a difficult person. So my go-to is family members, which I'm sure other people may be able to relate to that, but it doesn't need to be a family member. It could be someone at work. It could be someone in a larger capacity. It could be anyone really, but someone that when you think of them gives you some anxiety or you're having aversion to, right? And there are people in my life personally that, let's just say, can push every single button that I have, but I still want to wish them well. I don't want harm to come to them. Whether I'm living with them on a daily basis or whether it's the CEO of my company, I still want these people to be well. I may not agree with certain things. I may not have to agree with them. And I've learned I can't change anyone's mind. I can try to influence, but you can't control people. We're all on our own journey. So we're going to think about someone, a difficult person. If you notice any resistance, that's okay. That's normal. You're not approving of what they do or their actions, but again, just wishing them well. And I kind of like the words wishing them well when it's someone that I have an aversion to, and sending them my love, but wishing them well kind of works for me. So let's bring someone to mind that fits that bill for you. And then, like before, we'll say in our minds to them and the mantra of may you be happy, may you be safe, may you be healthy, and may you live with ease. And again, bringing that person to mind. May you be happy. May you be safe. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. May you be happy. May you be safe. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. As the mind wanders, coming back to the phrases for that person, may you be happy, may you be safe, may you be healthy, may you live with ease. So how did that go for everyone? I personally always come back to the same person because it's probably the person I need the most work with. But anyone want to share who they picked? All right, that's one I can. Oh yeah, go on.
I thought of one ex-girlfriend and a bandmate.
All right.
And with, the ex-girlfriend, I was, yeah, I've made my peace, but there's still times, where I feel like there's a part of me that hasn't let certain resentments go, just because some pretty wild stuff happened. So it's kind of just back to the cleansing process of keeping it going in the right direction. And then my old friend, bandmate, this happened, half a lifetime ago, but I also held on to a resentment with this person for quite a bit of time. And last I heard, I'm sure I could try to find him on social media, but last I heard through the grapevine, he wasn't doing too well. And it kind of reminded me of the impermanence of life as well. So I had a good friend pass away a couple weeks ago, and it just reminded me of it's too short.
Mm-hmm.
It's too short to harbor any sort of, to carry any of it. Just don't. So repeating that and kind of just keeping in that mindset felt pretty balancing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it reminds me of the focus of living in the present. You know, we have that greed and anger towards the past, or worrying about the future. Kind of, we're not here. And it's interesting you brought up people from your past, right? And we've recognized a lot of the lessons already. So it's easy in the mind, it's harder in the practice. So I find I could read a lot of Buddhist things, but practicing them every day is I wouldn't use the word challenge. It's the hard part though. Great. Thank you for sharing. Anyone else? Yeah.
So I just met someone recently that I'm kind of romantically interested in, and that's just something new for me right now. And this person, it's interesting because I met them and I just feel like it's been interesting because a lot of like negative emotions have come up towards this person, and I know, like, I barely know them, but it's just things from like other past relationships and stuff that I've kind of just like attached onto this new person. And so I just wanted to like clear some of that stuff away. And so, yeah, it felt like it kind of clarified things, and I was able to be like, okay, those are like unresolved emotions that you have from like a lifetime of shit, and you don't even. Yeah, it was just nice to feel something like more pure towards them. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Awesome. Thanks for sharing. So finally, we're going to move on to sending love and kindness to all beings everywhere. And this, to me, is a hard concept to grasp because there's just so many people in the world and so many beings, sentient beings, so animals, anything out there. And I was talking with someone just before class here about living overseas and seeing different cultures. And when you do travel, it's just like a whole nother world that I didn't know all these people lived here. Or when the first time I went to South America, I was like, there's a whole nother world down here, right? And there's just so many. So having the mind, even being able to grasp how many people I can't grasp it. And we can think about it in theory about the billions of people on the planet, but there's just so many. But as I said in the beginning, just what an impact if everyone had that loving kindness, extending loving kindness to everyone else. The commute on the 805 freeway would be much nicer. People on social media would be so much nicer when they're behind their keyboard, all of those things. So it's a challenge for me to grasp it, but it doesn't mean I can't try, right? So, and if that's too big for you, we can start with, or anyone can start with the room or the neighborhood or the city or the country or North America and expand that way. Or even smaller group, right? So we'll start again. And as before, instead of loving kindness, repeating to ourselves, may you be happy, may you be safe, may you be healthy, and may you live with ease. May you be happy, may you be safe, may you be healthy, may you live with ease. Repeating that in your mind and having that be the focus of your meditation. May you be happy, may you be safe, may you be healthy, and may you live with ease. So how did that go?
I always frankly find that easier than specific people.
Really?
Yeah.
Because,
I don't know, just to send out good feelings to the universe as opposed or to all beings it just seems easier than somebody you've had a problem with.
yeah,
Or even somebody that you care about, because you still have history, you still have emotional stuff, and you don't, like, for me, I just don't, I mean, it just is easy.
yeah. Because it's more anonymous, more,
Yeah, even though all the people who I've met up to this day in my life are included in that, I'm not thinking about any one specific one.
I can see that. Alright, so we have the opposite, which is fine. What about anyone else? Thanks for sharing that. Anyone else, thoughts? All right. Any other questions or comments? I see we're actually at time, but any questions, comments? All right, well, thank you all for being here tonight. I do have a few announcements. As you know, my name is David. They opened up this temple 17 years ago. For those who show up, to introduce Buddhist practice to those who show up. Those who lead, like myself, are not nuns, priests, monks, gurus, not looking for students and not teachers, but just practitioners sharing, in this case, my experience and my views on Buddhist practice. Every night there's different classes. led by different practitioners from different Buddhist traditions. All of that is posted above the shoe rack and is also available online. There's a recovery sangha that meets several times a week here for anyone struggling with any kind of addiction. There's also a food redistribution program Thursdays at 4:30 downstairs. They make some sandwiches and distribute to those who live on the street. Everything we offer here is always free. And there's a lending library. If you see a book you like, feel free to borrow it, bring it back when you are done. And there's something special going on. There, you see the sign or the easel on the back, there is a rock garden that is going to be built on the other side of this wall. And in June, and I'm just confirming the date here, June 14th, there is going to be a monk here to do a blessing and a Dharma talk at 11 a.m. Do a Dharma talk at 11 a.m. here, and then a blessing as they break ground for the new Zen rock garden out front. So that's Saturday, June 14th at 11 a.m. All right. Well, thank you all for being here, and have a good night.
Thank you.
And thank you for those folks online.
Is that a camera? You can see?